After filming and editing hundreds of wedding films, I've tried out and tested out just about every color grading tool, LUT, and plugin available. And I think I've finally found one that has transformed the look and feel of my wedding films into something I'm truly happy with. It's called Cinedream. Cinedream color grading plugin is designed to quickly give digital video footage that cinematic film style look. It's commonly used by filmmakers, content creators, and wedding videographers who want a film-inspired color grade without building complex color nodes from scratch. For wedding filmmakers, it makes our footage look super cinematic, super fast, and I mean it, super fast. It's simple, intuitive, and you're gonna love it. Today, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna edit an entire wedding film in a fraction of the time using Cinedream. So here we are on our Final Cut timeline. This is a complete edit. This wedding was shot on the Sony FX3, the Nikon ZR, and even the DJI Pocket 4K. All right, so here's a complete edit, but if you notice, all this footage is in log. It has not been color graded yet, and that's where the Cinedream plugin is gonna come in. So to get started, what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight all of our clips, boom, and now we're gonna add the Cinedream plugin by double clicking it. All right, so here we are in the Cinedream interface. Really quick, you'll notice we have our Develop tab, we have our Inspector tab, and some settings up here that should be very familiar. We have Exposure tab, we have our Contrast, we have our Temperature, we have our Color Wheels, we have our Luma Curves, and our HSL Vectors. Now, it's very important that you memorize these keyboard shortcuts because that's the beauty of Cinedream. These keyboard shortcuts are gonna make everything go so fast and so quick, trust me. So the very first thing we need to do to get started is to group all of our lag shots together so we could do one color grade to one shot and apply that look to all the shots within the same group. So we'll go from our base correction to our shot matching, right? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna find all the shots that were shot at the exact same time in the exact same location, and we're gonna put them all together and make them look mwah. All right, so first I will choose the color of our group, and then we quickly, very quickly add all the clips that belong to that same group. So watch me, boom, all right, boom, boom, boom. Now the very first shot that you choose is called your hero shot, right? The hero shot is gonna be the #1 shot that you color grade, and then you apply that look to all the other shots in the same group. So all the shots that were shot in the hotel room, for instance, we are now gonna put those all in the same group, right? So we had the bride getting dressed, her and her bridesmaids having fun. Now over here, we took the bride outside into the hallway to get a couple portrait glamour shots of her by the window. So of course, we're gonna do a different group for that as well. Hold Shift and quickly select all the clips. So simple, so easy, so intuitive. So first and foremost, we're gonna go to our yellow group. We go to our Develop tab. So what you wanna do is you wanna tell Cinedream what camera you use to shoot this particular shot. It's gonna apply that cinematic magic to the clip. So we go to our list. This particular shot was captured on a Nikon ZR. So we're gonna find N-Log in the menu, check it out. Are you ready for this? Boom, instantly, a very cinematic look. Cinedream has 4 different optional presets that I strongly suggest. Cineboss, then we have one Cinelook, then we have one called Cinevision, and then we have one called Cinelab, okay? So for this particular edit, I particularly like the look of Cinevision. So boom, we hit E, up the exposure. So the basic principle behind Cinedream, why I love it so much, is because you literally paint. You paint on the actual footage, right? So let's say you see a part of the clip that looks overexposed. You'll literally select or click that overexposed area, and you could pull down the exposure on that particular area. So you could literally alter and maneuver and manipulate just the specific sections of the canvas that you want. So first and foremost, we're gonna adjust our exposure. Boom, right? Up, down, right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust our contrast. Boom, do you see that? Now we have a little bit of highlights over here. We're gonna select just the highlights on the forehead and we're gonna pull it down. Now pay attention to this inspector tab. When I select the highlights on his forehead, only the exposure and the highlights is being adjusted. If I choose his lapel, only the highlights and the shadows are being adjusted. So anywhere that you choose, you will isolate only the particular colors that fall within that range. All right, now let's go a little quick with this, right? So I adjust this, bring down the highlights. All right, boom, boom, boom. This looks pretty good. Maybe we could desaturate the colors just a tad bit, about right there, right? We want these colors to look natural. Now, Cinedream also has false color and a skin tone indicator built in. And of course, there's a shortcut for that too. His skin is falling in between the grays and the pink, so that's good, right? And then our skin tone indicator, ideally you want the skin to fall within the yellow, and boom, we did that, right? So now we know that this particular clip for the most part is nicely balanced, and now we can apply this look to all the other shots within that group. So we go back to shot matching, and we go to match shots. Now pay close attention. We'll do copy, apply to group, confirm, and bam. Look at that, huh? How impressive is that? Now we'll quickly navigate through the different shots. All right, so here we are with this particular shot. It looks a little bit, the highlights, I don't like them too much, so we're gonna go and we're gonna drag just the highlights down a little bit, right? Just so the colors can match. And let's bring up some of that shadow detail. If you notice at the bottom of the waveform, some of the blacks are getting crushed, so we'll just hit C and adjust the contrast just a little bit. We just wanna pull it up, not too much, but just enough. Move on to the next clip, okay? Same thing, this clip looks great. Boom, 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 all right. And there we go. That's 4 clips that we just did so fast. Let's move on to the next shots, all right? So we'll go to our green group, and this is our hero shot. Let's go to match shots. So the same thing again, this was shot with the Nikon. So what do? We scroll down to Nikon, oh, recently used. Okay, so here's our Nikon, boom. And again, we're gonna use Cineboss. But looking at our waveform, once again, there's a lot of blacks here. Let's see if we can recover any of that detail. So we do adjust our contrast a little bit. Let's bring up our exposure. And again, this shot looks almost perfect right out the box. Again, this is the before, this is the after. We're gonna go to our shot matching and we're gonna apply this look to all the other shots within that group. So the same thing applies, apply to group, confirm, boom, moving on. So we look, boom, that looks good. Oh man, look at this, guys, after. Guys, this is beautiful. Let's go to group number 3, all right? So this group is the biggest group because this is the getting ready segment, right? All right, so here's our bride shot. Once again, we're gonna choose the camera that we used to shoot it. Here's our Nikon. Guys, look at this. Go to shot matching, we go to match shots, and then we'll just copy and apply to group. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is beautiful. Look at this. Not much to do here. Moving along, not much to do here. We could drop that a little bit, a little contrast. Oh, guys, look at this. And of course, we can make this nice and big if we want. All right, so as we go through, it just looks so good. Add a little saturation, lower the saturation, and raise the saturation. We're moving along, boom, boom. Oh gosh, this is beautiful, beautiful. Wow. All right, here's a shot, obviously with the light back here, things are getting blown out. So we're gonna choose the light and we're gonna bring down the exposure in only the highlights. So look at the highlight tab to my right, right? And we're gonna bring that down. Do you see that? Ooh, okay. So now, what do we do here, guys? We're trying to recover the light, but of course we've lost our subject, right? Check this out. They have a vignette we are gonna apply a power window to just her skin tone. So now we move on over. We're gonna raise the exposure just on her skin tone. Let's adjust that just a little bit. Oh, guys, look at that. So once again, that's before and after. All right, so now we were able to recover what we could of the light and still add a power grade or power window to her face. All right, so here we go, Nikon. All right, here we go. Adjust. All right, so what does that mean we're gonna do? We're gonna copy, apply to group, confirm. All right, add a little saturation. Nice, moving on. What I like is that a lot of these shots just look great out the box. I mean, look, this is before, that's after. Crush the blacks a little bit, not too much, but just enough. Yep. Ooh, so he got little red bottoms going on. So let's try this, okay? Let's see if we can highlight the red bottoms on his shoes. We'll add, let's do a little exposure and of course a little saturation. Before, after. So let's create a new group, okay? New group, this is called the ceremony. All right, so all these ceremony shots will more or less have the same look, all right? So what's nice is once you get one, we got them all. So it's gonna match shots. This is our hero shot. Let's go. So we'll apply our, all right, so these shots were shot with the Sony. So we're talking about Sony S-Log3. So let's pick the favorite out of the three. And I think Cinedream works for me. So we'll adjust the exposure. All right, adjust the contrast. Lower the saturation a little bit. Let's see if we could lower some of these highlights, the exposure and the highlight, just a tad bit. That was literally under 10 seconds. And this is the look that I'm gonna apply to the entire ceremony. All right, so shot matching, copy, apply to group, confirm, boom. Let's see what we're working with, all right? Copy, paste, look at that. All right. Boom. I love it. All right, here's our groom. Yes. All right. I'm going to copy the settings of these close-ups, and all the close-ups, I'll just paste them. See that? Boom. All right. Boom. All right. Same thing. Shadows, desaturate the skin just a tad bit. Let's do a skin tone indicator. That looks good. Okay. Moving along. Okay, here's a tricky one, all right? So again, we didn't have a light on his skin tone, so what do? We'll do our little HSL vector trick. Select the skin tone and we'll raise the luma on him. Look at that, we just raised the luma on him. That looks good. Maybe we could raise the saturation a tad bit too. All right, I like that. So let's look at the before and let's look at the after. Guys, this literally took me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. And we're moving right along, okay? Boom. Moving right along. All right, so now we're gonna copy and paste this setting over there. Look at that. Hey, and I forgot what they're laughing at, but it must be funny. Look at that. Okay. So it would seem like all the shots in this particular scene, we gotta raise that luma. Why? Because we didn't have any light on these people. All right. Not too much, obviously, but just enough. Look at that. All right. Alright, so guys, these particular shots were shot with the DJI Pocket. So let's find that D-Log profile, D-Log M, and we chose Cinevision, right? So what do? Raise the exposure, and boom, they should match perfectly. Let's go. There you go, look at that. So this is our S-Log 3, and this is our D-Log. Not bad, huh? All right, so here we are with family photos. Nikon. We pick our look. Copy. Apply to group. Confirm. All right, there we go. This shot here was shot on the Sony. So you notice when we added the Nikon color to the Sony, how it just looks totally off. So we gotta correct that. Alright, so this is the Sony. And voila. Okay, so we grouped all the shots and we color corrected all the shots and everything looks perfect. Look how easy that was. Look how simple that was. But there's one more step. Color grading, or I should say the final grade, okay? So if you take a look at this last tab over here, it's called Final Grade, right? Now this applies a specific filmic look to the whole entire edit. Right here, you'll see the ability to add LUTs, right? Cinedream comes with a slew of LUTs. I mean, this is unbelievable. And then you get to preview each of these LUTs as you go, right? And if you see one that you like, you just add it. And then once you add it, you tweak it. But what this allows you to do, if you look over here, now we have a little bit of film density, okay? We have a little bloom. If you look close on his, look over here on his shirt, when we add the bloom, that's with the bloom off, with the bloom on, all right? We have the ability to add a little halation. Do you see that? All right, these are all characteristics of film, right? Actual 16mm, 8mm, 35mm film. And Cinedream has this built in. So you could simulate, really go deep into the simulation to really make some of this footage look very film-like, very nice. Again, here's some film grain. You could add color grain. You could really make this thing look really, really nice. All right, we are done. So if you made it this far, it means it piqued your interest, and I personally believe, as you have seen, that this stuff is powerful. This software is really, really good, and I really do feel in my heart it's gonna make your films look a lot better, and it'll make you just as happy as it made me. So once again, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and of course, happy editing and happy coloring. Peace.